In this video, I'm going to be debunking the 5 biggest fitness myths of 2025. Now, a couple of these are just insane to me, and I have no idea why people still believe these in 2025. But hopefully, by the end of this video, you're going to bust all these myths and finally throw them in the trash. But before we get started, I have one thing I want to ask of you guys. If you find any value by the end of this video, I want you to give it a like, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. We're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I really do appreciate your support. Now let's jump right into the video. Myth number 1, you can spot reduced belly fat. Now you've probably seen some jacked dude on your feed, shredded with a 6-pack, telling you to do these 5 exercises to either reduce your belly fat or reduce your love handles. The truth is, these exercises only build your ab muscles, but they have no bearing when it comes to reducing your fat. The only thing you can do to reduce fat in any area of your body is staying consistent with your diet and being in a calorie deficit. We all have different genetics, and as such, we're gonna store fat in different spots on our body. Some people store their fat on their arms, some people store their fat on their legs. And when you're trying to lose fat, your body is going to pull that fat from every area of your body. It's not just going to come from your stomach, it's not just going to come from your arms, it's going to come from everywhere. And most of the time, you don't really know where that fat is gonna come from. That is why it's very important that you stay consistent with your calorie deficit for around 3 to 6 months. So if you want to lose belly fat, you could lose that belly fat first, or the belly fat could be the last to go. Stop believing this myth, get in a calorie deficit, and be consistent with it. You could still do your ab workouts, you could still do whatever workout you want to build the muscle under the fat, but that is not actually going to help you lose the fat in that area of your body. Number 2, carbs are the enemy. There are a lot of YouTubers and fitness influencers that have built their careers on demonizing carbs. The truth of the matter is, carbs are not the enemy when it comes to fat loss. Having too many calories, that is the enemy when it comes to fat loss. It doesn't matter whether those calories come from carbs, protein, fats, salads, whatever the case may be. If you're having way too many calories in your diet, you're never gonna lose fat. Carbs are not the enemy. Carbs are just a class of food, just like protein, just like fats. They have no bearing on whether you're going to lose fat or not. In fact, if you want to actually be healthy, you need to have a balanced diet, which includes carbs, proteins, fats, vitamins, minerals. You need all these things in your diet to actually have a balanced diet. A lot of people that demonize carbs just tell you, just avoid carbs, just do keto, but that really has no bearing when it comes to losing fat. You need to be in a calorie deficit, reduce the total amount of calories that you're eating. Whether those calories are gonna come from carbs, protein, or fats, it doesn't really matter. As long as you're in a calorie deficit, you can have all the carbs you want, have your protein, have your fats, and you are going to lose fat. Myth number 3, you will become bulky if you lift weights. Now this one just makes me laugh because it's the most ridiculous thing I've heard. This is mostly for the ladies. I've heard a lot of girls say things like, I don't want to lift weights so I don't get too bulky. So let me just tell you what my stats are. I'm 5'9", I weigh 160 pounds, and I have been lifting weights for 8 years consistently. When I started going to the gym, I was 130 pounds. So in 8 years, I only put on about 30 pounds of muscle. I want you guys to understand that putting on muscle is very, very difficult. A lot of people will not even put on 30 pounds of muscle in their lifetime. And most of the people you see online that have a whole lot of muscle are usually on some kind of performance enhancing drug. That is why they are able to put on that much muscle. But if you're an average guy or an average girl, just going to the gym, training hard, working out, you are not going to put on too much muscle. You're going to look toned, you're going to look lean, but you're definitely not going to go up to 200, 250 pounds in body weight because you lifted a 5-pound dumbbell. So go to the gym, lift weights, put on some muscle, lose the fat, and don't worry about becoming too bulky because you couldn't get too bulky even if you tried. Myth number 4, weight loss supplements work. If you didn't know, the supplement industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and most people nowadays use supplements supplements as a crutch for everything. You have a headache? Take a pill. You have stomach issues? Take a pill. You want to put on muscle? Take a pill. You want to lose fat? Take a pill. The truth is that these supplements don't work at all. Most of them are just scams from multi-billion-dollar industries that have the money to put into advertisements. Like, don't you think it's interesting that you never see anybody talking about these supplements in the gym? You only see them on TV, in big commercials, when you're at home just trying to watch some TV. If these supplements really worked, everyone would be talking about them. Everyone would be buying them and no one would be overweight. But that is not the case because most of these supplements don't work and it's just a waste of money. The only thing that works when it comes to losing fat is actually fixing your lifestyle. So fixing your diet, going to the gym, eating healthier, eating whole foods, tracking your calories. These are the things that you do on a day-to-day basis that will actually help you lose the fat. Not taking a pill, not wasting all your money on Ozempic or whatever else they are trying to sell you these days. And finally, myth number 5, your workouts need to be long and intense to actually be effective. I've been on calls with a few of my clients and they've said things like, well, I wasn't able to go to the gym today. And I asked them why weren't they able to go to the gym? And they said something like, oh, it's because my workout usually takes me about an hour, but I only had 45 minutes. So in their minds, they convince themselves that their workouts have to be really long and very intense for it to actually be effective. The truth, guys, is your workouts don't have to be that long and intense to be effective. You could get by doing a 15, 20, or 30 minutes workout. And I've had to do that a couple of times in my lifting career. I've been training for 8 years, guys. My workouts usually take anywhere between an hour to even up to 2 hours. But I admit that there are days where I just don't have time. I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot of things that I have going on, but I will still go to the gym, do a 30-minute walk, or just do some cardio. The purpose of actually lifting weights is to stimulate the muscle, not to destroy the whole thing. So as long as you're challenging yourself with every lift, you could get away with doing 1 set, 2 sets, or 3 sets per muscle group. So never skip the gym because you feel like you're not going to have enough time to complete your workouts. Make sure that you get in, whether you have only 10 minutes, 20 minutes, or 30 minutes. Get that workout in regardless of how much time you're spending in the gym. And those are the 5 biggest fitness myths of 2025 debunked. Now, if you want to learn all you need to know to debunk every single fitness myth on the planet, consider checking out my fat loss blueprints in my free fitness community. You're going to have exclusive access to content you're not going to see anywhere else, talking about things like your diet, your training, your cardio, and also your accountability. The link is in the description. Now, once again, if you got any value from watching this video, I want you to give this video a like, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. And I'll catch you all in the next video.